Douyin, right, which is TikTok's sister company in China, right? They are really doing quite well in e-commerce, and they are actually quite sizable now and impacting players like Alibaba. So, it really impacts the growth trajectory of Alibaba down the line. So it is okay to look at the regulatory lens, which should not be a main concern, because there was an issue of concern regarding antitrust measures, right? But that threat is largely over, coming from the very senior officials. So let's look at the other lens, which is competition, and that is the main lens that we are looking through now.
Sachin, just on that Amazon report this week, they are amongst your top picks, C Limited as well. Just walk us through why you are so constructive.
Yeah, so we had looked at globally at some of the internet, which means the e-commerce and the on-demand players, right? So why we like players like Amazon and C is because for Amazon, I think the shift is they had been benefiting from the growth of their cloud services, AWS. But going forward, we'll see switching from cloud growth to growth of their retail segment. So they had been investing a lot over the last two, three years, and now there's a time and now they have been doing a lot of cost cutting on the retail side. So exactly, so the growth will come from their e-commerce business and from the margin expansion in the e-commerce business. Do we see a major threat in terms of competition to Amazon? Answer is no. We are not seeing that. At least in their main markets in the US, and for C Limited, we like the stock despite the competition from TikTok in Southeast Asia, and the reason for that is because the market is a very high growth market, okay, for e-commerce, and even though TikTok, it's coming from a very low base. Right now, they are below 5% of the market share. So even if TikTok actually doubles every year, right, which is what we are tripling, we are forecasting kind of tripling of TikTok's market share. But even then, we are not C will have a very exceptional growth over the next 2-3 years. So different reasons for both the guys, Amazon and C in the internet space. And we prefer them over Alibaba because Alibaba will be impacted more by Douyin in China. So compared to TikTok, C.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about China, if we could, Sachin. You note that China has the highest penetration rates for on-demand services. One of the reasons you like Meituan, and you think Meituan has a lot of potential in China. Who else?
Well, we actually like many of the internet players. So we like Meituan. We have a buy call on their online segments, Netgear. There are a lot of buy calls. But what we are highlighting here is the top picks, in the mobility and the e-commerce space. So we are comparing e-commerce space, and we haven't found exciting topics in China, okay, compared to the global topics, global stocks. And in the on-demand space only, we find that Meituan is attractive on a globally, if you do comparison on a global basis.